It's art for every man, and it's outside, and it's free.
With neon lights, this is what I call an epic short film. There's two parallel stories going on. The family story about this business that's obviously struggling. It's kind of a 21st century industry having a problem with within the new world, but also showing the history of neon lights and what we kind of have seen, all of us have seen through our years, and how it came to be, and what the kind of the context of it, and the kind of journey it's gone through in the last 100 years.
One of the big reasons that neon got kind of ruined was that it's seen as tacky and vulgar, when in reality there's this whole nostalgia and beauty to it, and it's an art form. I thought it was a really cool piece because I had no idea what went into neon, and that it lasted forever, like, not forever, but like 34 years, I think they said. That was just crazy to me.
The main character, man, like, as people who are, I'm sure there's some creative people in the room here, that's his struggles and seeing his love and his art dying, and basically his business dying. It's like, it really kind of felt for the guy big time.
I really enjoyed the neon film. I'm from the Midwest, and I can kind of relate to small businesses, and I remember, like, when Borders was around, and that's a Michigan store, and they went out of business, and we had a lot of mom and pop stores too, and they went out of business. So, and I'm running my own little thing, so I kind of can relate. You have all this, you have family businesses, you have a lot of, assets, and then all of a sudden you lose it, and I think that resonated pretty well with me.
Yeah, also too, the legacy of the family, like, this has been going on for generations, and like him wanting to pass it to his sons but not be a waste for his sons. He wants his sons to obviously put food on the table for his family, and where's this business going?
I thought it was interesting, and I hoped he would get more into the art side of his business rather than the commerce side of it, because I think that is definitely the future of neon, is the art of it. So hopefully towards the end it looked like he was making interesting tabletop performers for people's homes and things, modern homes, whatever, where he could farm his talents to basically the same thing but different, the art side of it.
I'm the filmmaker, and Rio, the main character in the film, is a commercial sign maker. That's what he does. I had to push him to acknowledge that he thinks of himself as an artist, but I had to push him there. Because I said, "Aren't you an artist?" He goes, "Well, yeah." If you saw the POW sign, and I've been kind of working with this family even since we finished the film. If you saw the POW sign, they've now sold 6 of those, which is really nice because they're selling for like $4,000 each, and they're pretty intricate and they take quite a while to make. But he is expanding into an art form. He came up with something wonderful. I bought some stuff for him and gave it to him. Said, "Here, turn your creativity loose." And I gave him a toaster, and he's got 2 pieces of yellow neon toast coming out of the toaster. But in addition to the 2 pieces of yellow neon toast, he put a red tube in the middle so that it looks like the toaster is still glowing. And that's the kind of creativity that I'm trying to, get him to do as an artist so that he can sell his art pieces, because the sign business is really, truly dying out.
And the art and craft of creating beautiful neon is almost lost.
I really felt for Rio the Third, I think the main guy, when he was crying about how his business is dying and all of that. I felt like it was deeper than like, oh, I'm not gonna have a business anymore, like I don't know what's gonna happen in the future. When he was crying, I felt that he was like, he knew that he was like losing a huge part of himself, like his identity. like this is what I've been doing, and not only is it just like it was a legacy, but like it's just been embedded in him for so long that it's like, okay, well now what? Who am I? Like what am I gonna do now?
It's so funny because it's interesting because it's almost like he needs a change. You're talking about commerce and art. He needs to change his business plan to go into that venue that you're trying to push him into, because that's the new business, right? Like, so it is commerce within the context of arts.
Well, I realized from seeing this how much I've actually taken neon signs for granted. And I was fascinated by the whole thing, from the science, behind the science, the history of it, the art that's involved. But I also loved that they wove in the story of the barbershop quartet, the music aspect of the family. I really liked, that was just like a nice bonus to the whole film. Because it was a story about the family and their life struggle, or well, their history. And I just thought that was just a nice little, as a singer myself, that was something that so I wanted to comment on that because I liked that part of it too.
And the one son is a pretty good guitar player too.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it's so funny. This will go to that road. It's so funny. Like I'm sure all of us. So like, aren't we all going to see neon signs like so differently now after watching this film? Like, aren't we all going to like? Oh, I know that.
Well, as it relates to commerce, is there any future for any sort of neon use for movie productions or studios? Because he had done some in the past.
Well, they're making a ton of Star Wars films. We know that,
Yeah,
right?
so I was just thinking in terms of an extension of his career, if that was something that he, would be possible for him. So.